Next up, we are looking at the Bossa Nova groove. Now, Bossa Nova is from Brazil, for those of you who don't know, and it's generally played not too fast, and it's kind of romantic, and it's got a really sexy sway to it. Now, the Bossa Nova pattern goes or spans over 2 bars. We're playing in 4/4 time, so we'll be counting 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and there are 2 elements that are very, very important that creates this kind of Bossa Nova feel. We have a pattern on the bass, and we have what we call our, well, we don't necessarily call it the clave, but we've got a pattern that we play on the snare or up on the highs, and both of them go together well. Now, because some of these accents of the 2 different parts of our Bossa Nova falls on the same beat, I'm going to be teaching you guys how to do the Bossa Nova separating our hands. So I'm going to be using my lead hand, which will be my right hand, for all my bass strokes, and I'm going to be using my left hand for all my high or my snare strokes. And this way we're kind of separating the 2 different sections, which is a bit different than what we've been learning in most of the lessons. You might find it a little bit challenging because you're going to need to be working a little bit on coordination. But if you take it slowly and you learn the rhythm well, you learn the 2 separate hands separately, and then you put them together, once you have it, it's such a joy to play it. Some of you guys might know the Bossa Nova from some tunes like Tall and Tan and Young and Lovely, the girl from Ipanema comes walking. So our bass pattern has this kind of that's the pattern we're going to be keeping, and she's kind of staying steady right there on that beat. The accents that we're going to be playing on the bass lands on beat 1, the off beat or the and of 2, followed by beat 3, and then the off beat of beat 4, followed again by beat 1. So counting it, this is what we're going to be doing with our 1 leading hand. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 1. Let's try that a little bit faster. 1, 2 and 3, 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3, 4, 1. Now let's look at the pattern that we're going to be doing up on our left hand, or your right hand if you're left hand lead, up on the snare. This pattern isn't constantly regular as we're doing with our leading hand, and we're going to look at where the accents fall. So accents is going to fall on 1, 2 and 3, 4, 1, 2, 3 and 4 and. Okay? Let's look at that again. Just get it into you, and then you can place them together and you'll get a Bossa Nova. 1, 2 and 3, 4, 1, 2, 3 and 4 and. So 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4, 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2, 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. Now take note that our pattern spans over 2 bars. Okay, so we've got 3 accents in our first bar and 2 accents in our second bar for our snare. First accent lands on the 1, 1 and 2 and. Second accent on the off beat of 2. Third accent on the 4, so it's 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and. And then we're halfway through our groove. Now we're going to the second bar, okay, where our first accent up on the snare is going to fall on beat number 2. 1 and 2 and 3 and, as well as on the off beat of 3. So let's try to put it all together. 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 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 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 and 2 and 3 and 4 and 1 2 and 3 4 1 2 3 and 4 and. So you've got to kind of feel that pattern a bit, and you'll get into it the more you kind of practice it. Now let's try to put these two hands together really slowly.